Come in from the snow, dear listener, and join us at the Science Fiction Rating System Christmas table. Merry Christmas, one and all.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone. We're all here. It's Christmas Day, and we haven't got a film to watch. We're just here to chat about films, but in more general sense. I'm joined by my two Christmas pals, Alex Humphrey.
Hello. Happy
Merry Christmas, Alex.
Merry Christmas.
And Chris Redding.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Chris. Merry Christmas, you might say. Yeah, so long-term listeners will know that last year we did a similar show of discussing highlights from the year, making a few predictions, stuff like that, which we're going to pay off now. I can't believe we've actually managed to do a whole of the year, and those predictions are actually going to get revealed now. It's quite impressive, I thought.
Good for us. We lasted. They said we wouldn't last, and we did.
Yeah, this will be our 80.
Them people trolling us.
Yeah,
those trolls, those foreigners,
those Yakuza and the gangs, the other gangs, the Australians.
Potentially just Colin.
Yeah, okay. Just
I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, so this is the 86th episode, I believe. Right, yeah, so we've got a couple of films we've chosen each from last year to talk about. We've got some predictions, we've got some stats, I love stats, we've got some looking forward to next year, and we've got all sorts of stuff. So let's get started. So we have picked two films each.
Or TV series,
whatever from last year that we enjoyed. Straight up, I'll say last year was not a good year for sci-fi, was it? I know, me and Chris, we discussed this, didn't we?
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of good stuff.
On paper, at the beginning of the year, it should have been.
Yeah. But yeah, it was poor. A lot of stuff, as we discussed last year as well, if it's not AAA blockbuster or a comic book film, it seems to go to Netflix. And that's where both my choices ended up. And the first of those is Annihilation. Have either of you seen Annihilation?
Yes. No. I heard a lot about it, though.
Yes, Chris, you've seen it?
Yes, I've seen it.
So this is an Alex Garland film who made Ex Machina, which was scheduled to go into cinemas until Paramount decided that the ending of the film was too, abstract and miserable. The producer of the film refused to back down and change it, which, fair play to him.
Good.
So it was actually released into cinemas in America, but with no press and bombed, and everywhere else in the world went out on Netflix. It is a strange film starring Natalie Portman, based on a book about a zone, an area in America that has become sort of cut off from the rest, where strange things are going on inside, and expeditions are sent in to try and find out what's going on, and they don't come back. And Natalie Portman's husband was in one of these former expeditions, and he did come back, but was a bit weird.
And
so
it's growing as well.
Yeah, it's expanding, yeah. So she decides to go in as well. And it's basically this weird sort of biological, mutated sort of land, and there's a lighthouse in the middle of it. Chris, what did you think of Annihilation? Did you like it?
There was some interesting bits to it. I kind of like, because it's obviously got the sort of arrival, sort of army base, sort of business stuff, which I always enjoy.
Yeah.
And people trying to make sense of a situation. That's always good.
Yeah.
It's got a very interesting look about it. But I can tell you why I don't like it if you like.
Yeah, go for it, definitely. Yeah.
I mean, there's this whole, basically within this zone, it's like the laws of nature are slightly different.
Yeah.
So you get mutations
we'd better say spoilers.
Yeah.
Spoilers, yeah. So it's kind of like you get mutations happening. It's what I don't like about it. It's kind of that mixed up sort of Ridley Scott's idea of what nature is and how things work in real life, and for me, it loses me. It is literally like 2 + 2 = 5 all of a sudden, and I don't think the stakes are really pushed home.
No, not at all.
What happens? This thing's growing
very slowly. I mean, it's from a book, which is the first of a trilogy, and that trilogy ends with the stuff taking over, basically. The idea that it's come from this lighthouse, but weirdly, Alex Garland adapted this having not read the sequels, so he didn't know what happened, but ended up quite similar anyway. But yeah, like the film idea is basically that an alien like life form lands in a lighthouse and spreads out from there, which in itself is not a bad idea.
No.
But yeah, I agree with you. It doesn't know what it wants to be, does it really? And when I was watching it, I thought it'd make a nice screensaver. Like there's a few like nice shots of sort of plants that are growing in the shape of humans, stuff like that, and some like nice body horror. But it's just such a... I can kind of see why Paramount didn't like it. I didn't really
There's a couple of interesting scenes.
Yeah.
But the finale, I don't think, is sufficient for a feature.
Yeah, totally. Which, I mean, that's why I've put it in this list, because there's this like whole like brand of films now that are going to Netflix where they're not AAA, because it seems like you can't make a sci-fi film unless it's a comic book film, can you now? AAA, big one. Like Blade Runner.
No, they can't put money behind like a new idea anymore.
No. And then so it falls down to this Netflix level where there's not enough money for it to look like properly big, you know what I mean? Like it's a very small scale thing.
Or they're not being clever enough.
But it's like it loses something in like script and story development as well. It doesn't have that extra... I think it is the money thing, because they can't achieve like a truly... and they can't step up for that final reel and just make things another level.
But the thing that Annihilation is weird about this, though, is the fact that it was going to be in cinemas. So you think it got... I mean, because you think Ex Machina is quite a small film, isn't it? But accomplishes what it does better than this. So I think it seems like more like this has sort of missed its target, and Netflix have realised, oh, hang on, this actually looks like one of our cheap films, even though it's probably not. But yeah, it's just a weird... I think it's worth watching, because it is odd and unlike other things, but just not very good. But
that's a pity, because he is a good writer.
Yeah. It's the best of the Netflix exclusives. Like, have you seen Extinction? I don't know, watch that film. It's not very good, and something else to watch as well. Because there's so much. They put so much on there, don't they? So much sci-fi all the time.
The one I saw on there was the what's it called? The Cloverfield one.
Oh god, Cloverfield Paradox. Yeah, that was bad as well. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so that's my first choice. We'll watch a trailer for that, and then we'll come back with something else.
Your husband's here.
Let me see him.
He's extremely ill.
You have to tell me where he was, what he was doing.
It was his decision to go in. It's something they termed the Shimmer. We've sent in drones and teams of people, but nothing comes back.
But something has.
Cool, that was the first choice. Right, before our next choice, we're going to go back to last year's predictions. So, last time this show, we did a whole load of things, predicted highest grossing films, all sorts of things. So we'll work through the list now, and we'll see who's won, quite excitingly. Let's go through. So, our first prediction was to say, what would be the highest grossing film worldwide in 2018, Right, I said Avengers. Chris, what did you say?
I said Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom.
Alex, you said Ready Player One.
Did I?
What were you thinking there?
What an idiot. I don't know why I said that. What a fool I was.
Well, it was Avengers, so I get the
course point. It was Avengers.
Ready Player One.
I know. I think maybe I thought that the whole world would be caught up in some kind of 80s pop cultural phenomenon that never happened. Sorry.
It was. It's just they didn't watch that film.
No, they were. Yeah. They carried on regardless.
The next question was, how many Marvel, Star Wars and DC films combined would be announced in 2018? Now, this is the one where I think we've called it widely wrong. I said 12. What did you say, Chris?
10.
Alex said 13. Now, this one, technically, it's actually a minus number because they cancelled a whole raft of Star Wars films. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, there was actually only one film announced across all three this year, and that's Birds of Prey, which is a DC villains film.
But they've announced another. No,
they haven't. Nothing. No, because we said that's going to pre-production, and there's nothing else. They cancelled the Star Wars Rian Johnson trilogy.
Yeah.
And there's no Marvel announcements past Spider-Man, whatever it's called, Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Don't Go Home or something. So there's literally just Birds of Prey, which is bizarre. So we all got that. I think no one gets a point there. Yeah, that's completely wrong. Right. So the next one is the the biggest hit and the biggest flop from this list of films. The films were Ready Player One, Battle Angel Alita, The Predator, Rampage, and Jurassic World 2. We're going off worldwide box office again there. So yeah, Alex just said Battle Angel Alita didn't get released. But I don't think anyone put that on their... Oh, Alex did, right. So,
oh, man, I did really badly.
So I said Jurassic World would be the biggest on that list. Oh, no, in fact, I said, yeah, Battle Angel Alita would be smallest as well. Chris, what did you say for this one?
Jurassic World and Ready Player One.
That's a better guess. It was Jurassic World, and can anyone guess the lowest from that list?
The Predator?
Yeah, Predator was the lowest.
Oh.
So that's 1 point for Chris, and nothing for me and Alex.
Wow.
Right, the Rotten Tomato score for Solo, the Star Wars film that did eventually get released. I said 72. Chris?
75.
And Alex said 43. Very pessimistic over there. The result was actually 70.
Oh, wow,
so
you
close,
guys
so-
were on it. Yeah, well done.
Get a point for that one. And the Oscars. this one I got wildly wrong. This was how many Oscars would science fiction films win at the Oscars? I really overestimated how many technical Oscars there were. I said they're going to win 12 Oscars.
Wow.
Chris, what did you say?
5.
Alex said 7, and the answer was 2. So
No one gets that.
Chris
Okay,
gets the
well,
point for being close on that one. But, yeah. Right, so yeah, from a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, we could have got 6 points there. Me and Chris tied on 2. Alex, you got absolutely nothing right.
I'm going to try and get better for next year. I'm hoping my predictions are better for next year.
Yeah, that's cool. But I think that Marvel one is the one that really threw us all out of whack there. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have more predictions later on. But first of all, let's go to our second choice. So Alex, this is your first choice of the year. What have you got for...
Well, last year I had Rick and Morty, and this year is basically another Netflix cartoon science fiction called Final Space, which I don't know, did anyone see it?
No.
No? Did you see it, Chris?
No.
No. Well, it was absolutely brilliant. It's basically... It's a bit like Rick and Morty. It's that same kind of humour, but instead of it being... it's 10 episodes, but it's one story. And it's basically about this kind of... this guy called Gary Goodspeed, who's serving out a prison sentence on his ship. And then he finds this weird little alien, which he calls Mooncake, which is actually able to destroy planets and is being pursued by the Lord Commander, who's played by David Tennant. And he basically... So the main character is kind of very deluded, and he ends up getting basically involved in this massive kind of galaxy-wide fight, I guess it is, like a huge war in the galaxy for this weird little alien. And it's just like... It's really, really funny. It's got a lot of good, like... It's just really good ideas in it. It's really well designed, and it's really... There's a lot of, like, really epic kind of shots, like some really nice, like, kind of big worlds and space shots, and like really good, like kind of real good design in it, I'd say. And it's quite like it's quite moving. Like it's got kind of some emotional impact as well, I would say. And it's created by the guy that it's the David Sachs, who wrote for Third Rock from the Sun and produced Simpsons. And it's Olin Rogers, who's the main guy behind it, and he does 3 of the main voices.
And you say it's a continuous story. It's not like
it's one story over 10 episodes, but I mean, it's different stuff happens, but it's one whole story.
And does it end, or has it got another series coming?
They are going to make another series, and it has been the series has been announced. So they're making it, but it's really good. Yeah, I would thoroughly recommend it, especially if you're looking for kind of a Rick and Morty shaped gap in your life. I would go for it. It's very funny.
I'll give it a go, definitely.
Yeah, it's just that, like I say, it's got the kind of twist that it has that's different is that the main character is just completely disillusioned about how successful and kind of, capable he is. He's basically just a complete idiot, but he kind of thinks he's so much more than that, which is quite, and that pays out quite a lot, is kind of, that does, there's a lot of jokes about that, and worth giving a go, I'd say, yeah.
And that's the problem with Netflix as well, is that, like, I've never even seen that. It doesn't do a good job of servicing stuff, does it? Showing you what's...
No, it doesn't. It only really serves up what it thinks you want, which doesn't mean it will show you things you might not have ever watched. That's the problem, isn't it? It's kind of, Anyway,
I've got a habit of just watching Star Trek
Yeah, yeah, totally.
and nothing else.
The problem I've got in mind is that obviously different accounts, but Lucy accidentally logged in as me and watched RuPaul's Drag Race once, and so I just get loads of RuPaul coming up on mine now.
oh wow. I read this really interesting article that basically, if you look between your account and Lucy's, the actual picture for each show will be different.
Oh, will it?
So yeah, so basically what it said in this article is it was a guy and it was his girlfriend, and on her account it would show a female character on the picture, but on his one it would show like either a man or something that looks a bit dark and sexy, whereas on hers it would be like more positive and more like, hey, this has got a plucky
looks
female
like a
heroine, and
rom-com.
and on the man account it'd be like, oh, this looks like she's got no clothes on.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so it even tailors the images towards who it thinks you are and what you watch. So probably on Chris's, it just makes everything look like Star Trek, just in case, to try and make him watch it. Yeah, please, this is like Star Trek. Yeah, so
Fair
there
enough.
you go.
Weird.
Crazy
Right.
Netflix.
Well, let's watch trailer for what was it? Final Space.
Final Space. I'm sure there is one out there. Give
Yeah,
it a
no,
go.
I'll be.
Yeah.
I'm going to check that out definitely.
Good.
And then we'll come back to something else.
I'm afraid, Gary, there is no foreseeable outcome where you survive. Good morning, Gary. Day 1818.
How about freaking no?
You are not the captain. You are a prisoner aboard this ship.
As soon as the crap hit the interstellar fan, I became the captain. For real.
You're oblivious to this thing, aren't you?
What?
That.
Mooncake?
What's a mooncake?
This!
That is a planet killer.
Right, so now we're up to the bit where we got our predictions for this year. So as before, it's super secret. We're not going to reveal each other's choices. Different to last year is that this year people at home can play along.
Wow, that's exciting.
There will be a link in your podcast browser right now. Click that, and you can go to a survey page where you can fill in your answers, and we'll do something with that this time next year. So these are the questions for those at home. Don't shout out your answers. So number of 2019 credits for IMDb for Lance Henriksen is our first question after we saw him in Nights, because he does a lot of films. The Rotten Tomatoes score for Terminator 6, which hasn't got a name yet, I don't think, has it?
Hope it comes out. If it doesn't come out, that's not going to work.
I think it's pretty much definite. I think they've finished filming it, so it's
Okay.
it's going to come out. I've lost my list. And then we had the combined worldwide box office for every Marvel film in 2019, which is only actually 3: Avengers 4, Captain Marvel, and Spider-Man 2. Which could be a very big number. And then we had the question, will Star Trek Discovery survive past season 2? Which is a yes or no answer, but there's a lot of talk that it is, if not already chopped, soon to be chopped, as it made no money. And have you heard about this? About how basically Paramount took it to loss leader to prop up their sort of streaming service, but also Netflix paid them a lot of money to have the rights overseas. It didn't perform, so this time they said to Netflix, we want twice the money. Netflix said, you can have half the money from last time, or we're not interested. And basically held them to ransom. And so it's got to do really well, or it's going away, which makes sense. I mean, with that Picard series coming out.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be short of Star Trek.
No.
No.
And then we've got one final prediction question, which you didn't have because I hadn't written it yet. And this is... so, I want you to guess the subtitle for the last Star Wars film, Episode 9.
Oh, God.
I mean, you've got to... I'll lock
That's
the
already
things
been
down
leaked,
today,
hasn't it?
so-
I've seen
Has it?
something. Yeah, I've seen that.
Has it?
I think so.
What is the leak?
What do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, go on.
It's got the word sun in it. I've seen it.
Black Diamond?
No.
Space Bear?
Space.
So the ones on...
Space Bear?
Yeah, that's what I've just found.
Is it like... I've seen it
Brilliant.
on Instagram. Someone's like...
Oh, I'd love it if it's Space Bear.
Might be it's something like Son of Darkness or something like that.
Oh.
Oh, well, okay, we'll put your guess in anyway. You can put that in for your guess.
Okay, right, I'll do that one.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
And then, and at home, do the same. Do the link. I can't tell you what it is. I haven't made it yet, but it'll be in the description. Click, put your stuff in. There might be a prize, probably not, but you never know. we might become world famous by this time next year.
We've got another year.
Offering...
Anything can happen in a year. Wow.
All right, cool. So it's time for Chris's first choice of 2018. Chris, what have you got for us?
2018, yeah. So I've got a.
You've forgotten.
Yeah, I'm just reading my thing.
Oh my god!
Sorry, which is this? This is my favourite.
This is what you like.
No, not your favourite. The two ones you wanted to discuss from 2018.
Okay, yeah. So The Predator.
Oh right.
Yeah. See, I knew you were gonna. You said that you're saying this, so I hadn't seen The Predator, but I've watched it now, so we can properly talk about this.
I have also seen it now.
Yeah. So.
It's. I'm trying to think whether it's in the same world as the other. Yes, it is. It's in the same world.
Yeah.
It's not a reboot. It's not a fresh reboot.
It sits in. It's the third film out of the 4.
Yeah.
So it's after 2, but before Predators, which we saw this year. We reviewed this year.
Right. Okay. So they haven't disowned Predators yet, then.
No. In fact, they make Predators make sense. In fact,
I mean, it makes sense because Predators is now not the worst film in the franchise, is it? So
hell yeah, it's not. No, exactly, which is shocking. I mean, after we reviewed it this year, I didn't think I would. I didn't think I would say.
So Chris, tell us about The Predator.
I kind of liked it.
Oh right, okay.
It's better than Predators.
Really?
No way.
The better characters.
Who is a better character?
The lead guy, I don't know his name.
No, I don't know his name.
Quite telling.
It's funny.
Is it?
There's some really funny bits in it.
Isn't it a bit too funny? I mean, didn't you find it a bit too gaggy?
It's original in the sense it doesn't just retrack what the old films have done, like in what it's doing.
Yeah. Any more?
Yeah, come on.
Well, I just enjoyed how funny it was and fresh because it kind of mixed, when it mixes that sort of horror, that creature with gags. I kind of like that because it kind of takes the pressure off it being a good movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
It had the Key and Peele guy in.
Yeah, I liked him. I'm not going to say I didn't like. I mean, I liked him. I mean, is Tourette's that funny? I mean, it's not that funny, is it, Tourette's?
No.
I mean,
well, he didn't have Tourette's all the way through it.
No, he didn't have Tourette's all the way through it, which didn't make any sense. And also, is autism, number 1, the next step in our evolutionary process? No, it's not. And number 2, is autism just a nice fix for basically everything, isn't it? I mean, we could do a whole load of films where just autism equals understanding alien technology and languages and
I think
everything.
It totally adds up.
For people who've not seen it, there's a child genius in it who has got autism and so therefore understands everything about predators. It appears to be working in a lab at the end of the film, doesn't he? He's got a job.
They've given him a job.
He's
at the
about
lab.
7.
Yeah, he's got his own desk. I mean, they've hired. Yeah,
Alex, do you want to give your overall opinion next?
Well, I wanted to watch it because I knew we were going to talk about it, and I am the strongest Predator fan here. I thought Predators was a really good film. I love Predators now, and I like the other 2. They're obviously masterpieces, and I really wanted to like The Predator. And I agree with Chris. I think that kind of gang of misfits, I like the idea of those kind of all kind of mucked up troops. I like the fact that they get that kind of gang together, and some of the scenes, some of them, their bits are funny. But I hated the lead guy. I thought he had no personality at all. And also, the cardinal...
I would have done something with the end, different at the end.
Well, the end. But the cardinal sin it committed was it didn't have enough of the Predator in it. It was just too much of them dicking about and not enough of the Predator. And also, I'm sorry, but that stupid giant Predator thing wasn't scary. It looked crap, and it didn't really make any sense. Like, once the normal Predator was out of it, I just think that giant Predator was dumb. I just didn't like it. Yeah. And I didn't think it was... When it's in the normal person's house... and it's like too big for the house, and it's like a fucking kids film. Like, I just thought it was dumb. I just thought the giant predator was dumb. And the thing about Predator is he's a cool character, and they somehow made him not cool anymore. And also, sorry, total spoilers, the idea that the predators give a crap about Earth and want to save us from the predators.
Climate change.
Yeah, and climate change and all that. I just thought that was silly as well, because to me, the predators aren't... It's not like the Alien, where they're just creatures that will just destroy everything. And it's not like Mars Attacks, where they're a sentient race of beings who want to take us over. The predators just come here, hunt us, and then bugger off. They don't really care about us. We could be an animal.
This is their country club. They don't want it to get fucked up by...
Well, they don't care enough to try and save us, like, by leaving a robot
That's
suit.
what the movie says.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciated that it made Predators fit into the rest of them. I really appreciated that. So thank you, Shane Black.
I didn't appreciate that.
I did. I like that. I like that it made Predators. It validated Predators. And it made
Predators is a terrible film. The Predator is one of the worst films I've ever seen. It was absolute gash. Right? The problem with it is, it runs with two concepts that are terrible from other films. Alien vs Predator, the worst film about that film, which is awful, is when the Predator like nods and gives a thumbs up at the end of the human. He's like, oh, I'm friendly with human. Yeah. And the worst thing about Predators was those stupid Predator dogs. Both of those things are in this film. Yeah. It's terrible. I don't think it is funny at all. I think Shane Black is way past his best. I quite enjoyed Nice Guys, but his brand of like quipping just doesn't work anymore. I think you agree with him. The lead guy is horribly miscast. The supporting actors are all right, but there is too much of them. The whole like putting it around Halloween and it feeling like all like a sort of a Spielbergy film almost, and that kind of thing was just shit. The Predator is terrible. The idea of like seeing the Predators communicating across the machines to each other, and that bit at the end where it's like, oh, you have proven yourselves, I'll give you a 5-minute head start. Like, no, just fuck off. The Predator is a space alien who is here to hunt and kill us, not to talk to us or get involved in politics or chase his mate around. It was
they piss away having Gary Busey's son in it. I mean, that would have been a brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like
hilarious.
Yeah, they really pissed that away. They don't mention Keys at all, really.
The bad guy is terrible as well.
Yeah.
Like his whole performance and ways, and why is he? What's his whole motive for like acting like that and being, makes no sense. And as you say, the ending is absolutely shit when like this stupid human predator suit pops out. Did you read that they actually shot that as a tie-in to the Alien franchise originally?
Oh,
and that was going to look like a suit from Prometheus or something like that. It was something that would tie it back in, and I think they must have realised.
Yeah, good.
What I would have loved if when it opened up and it's like got Arnie in there.
Oh no, that was the original idea. That was the original idea.
That's what it should have been, because he was the
Terminator.
Yeah.
They couldn't get him back because he wouldn't come back for that little screen time.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought the better idea was that big predator was going to be Arnie, and that Arnie was chasing the first predator through space, something like that. Like he'd gone off.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Gone off like chasing around, and that's who pops out and he kills the other one. But no, I mean, it's just such a shame, isn't it? Such a cool character being mistreated so badly over the years. I mean, at least it flopped, so we aren't going to get the Predator 2 summer camp or whatever. So
yeah. No, I was disappointed. I'm sorry.
Well, at least Chris liked it.
Yeah, at least Chris liked
it. Wow. Okay, well, let's watch a trailer for The Predator and...
actually...
Oh, sorry, yeah.
No, I was looking for the Predator stuff, and I think there's going to be a Predator holiday special, like a claymation holiday special.
Yeah. No, there is,
Yeah, so put that trailer up, because that was quite funny, the little teaser.
Yeah. Cool. Right, let's watch a trailer for that instead, and then something else.
Sprinkle's call came in from up ahead. Follow me. Answer now!
Right, let's carry on. So, on to our second choices of the year. I was going to do Upgrade, which was terrible, and then I was going to do Venom, which was terrible but funny. Have you seen Venom yet, Alex?
No, but I've heard bad things about it. So.
Have you seen it, Chris?
Nah, not my sort of thing.
Yeah, it's absolutely terrible. But I mean, Tom Hardy is just hilarious in it because it's almost as though he's not even sure what film he's in. He's just it's funny. But anyway, no. But luckily for me, I came on Netflix again. It's all Netflix. There's a Godzilla trilogy of animated films been released.
Were they the ones that only came out They only came out quite recently.
Yeah.
No, I heard about them because I think there was at one point a possibility they would be screened in the cinema.
Yeah.
But they weren't. Are they on Netflix now?
Yeah, so they're on Netflix. They're
exciting.
From Toho, who the godfathers of Godzilla. And I've only watched the first of the three. The third's not out till next year on our Netflix, I think January, but the first two are out. And I know, like, my history of Godzilla is quite... Actually, we've not done Godzilla on the podcast yet, have we? But
no.
yeah, I love Godzilla. But this is a really cool take on Godzilla. It starts with Godzilla arriving on Earth, being summoned, and loads of the monsters, and destroying Earth, basically. And
it's from Earth, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, it always kind of changes. Like sometimes he comes from the nuclear explosions around World War II. That's his original origin. Sometimes he's friendly, fighting other monsters. The best Godzilla is when Godzilla's a bad guy. In this film, you intentionally don't really know where he's come from. Just that the Earth summoned him up and these monsters, and the Earth's basically on the brink of collapse. And then two alien species arrive because they have noticed the fact that these monsters are running riot on the planet. And one is a religious species who are like saying, we can see the future, convert to our religion and we'll save you. And the other one is a species whose own planet has been destroyed, and they are saying, right, we're going to wait for the monsters to kill you and take over.
Wow.
Which is it's so high concept. Anyway, so they turn up and don't really save the day. They build a Mecha Godzilla to try and fight Godzilla, but it doesn't work. So they leave, cut to 22 years in the future, and Earth is, I think, 4,000 people on a colony ship that have left Earth and are travelling away from Earth. And they're trying to find a new planet to settle on. And they can't find somewhere to live, basically. And they've got the religious aliens have basically like made this technology for them, and we all like worship these aliens now. But the planet, there's all these shots in the ship, the colony ship, where there's like no food left, running out of water, everyone's dying, really dark.
Yeah.
And so they decide that the only thing they can do is go back to Earth because time's passing differently for them where they've gone. So they've been away 22 years, but 10,000 years has passed on Earth. So they decide to go back and try and take Earth back from Godzilla. And they get there, and 20,000 years has actually passed, and some shit has gone down. I won't say anything else. But
that sounds amazing.
It is mental. Like, it's so high concept, and the production of it, it's like an animated. It's 2D, but with lots of 3D elements. The ship designs, the colony ships look incredible. There's loads of computer screens of like technical readouts, stuff like that, and a lot of talk about. There's like a conflict between the military and these aliens, things like that, and it's just so much more than a Godzilla film. It's really
wow.
You know, Godzilla can quite often fall into the trap of just going, "We've got a Godzilla," because this isn't live action. I mean, the last Godzilla live action film I didn't really like because it was very, very boring and slow. But this is just such a sci-fi space opera that I recommend it definitely. And I think Chris, you might like it, and I don't think you traditionally would like a Godzilla film, would you? I suppose as much
animated.
Yeah, but no, but it is animated. It's in. You can watch it in dub if you want. It's in Japanese as well, which I enjoyed. But you can watch it dubbed because I didn't like the subtitles either. So anyway, give it a go.
I will be watching that. Hell yeah!
Yeah, so they're both the first two are on Netflix, and the third one is coming out next month. But yeah, a brilliant surprise to find that there.
Yeah, well there you go.
So put a trailer for that, and we'll be back in a minute.
地球という惑星の支配者が自分たちだけではないと知った。俺たちが奪われたもの。
長きにわたる放浪の末、地球に戻ることを決断した人類。しかしそこは2万年の歳月が流れていた。
Last year on the podcast. Last year, we recorded 37 hours and 17 minutes of podcasts.
Wow. Did we?
Quite a lot. We added 55 films to the list.
Is that less because we dropped from doing 3 films to 1 last year?
Yeah, but what was it? A full year? It was just under a full year, wasn't it?
Okay, yeah.
Can you guess which was our most popular show in terms of downloads from last year? Which film?
I remember there being a lot of buzz when we did one of the Transformers things.
Mm-hmm.
That's that episode.
No. Any ideas, Chris?
Probably Arrival or something like that.
No, it was 2001.
2001, yes. Yeah.
Wow, there you go. The most controversial episode we've recorded.
Yeah. And the least popular? I don't think you'll get this.
Fish or rabbits.
Yeah, the Fish Man.
Fish Man.
No, strangely not, no. It was Treasure Planet.
People were hating on Treasure Planet.
Yeah, okay, obviously flopped for a reason. No one wants to know about Treasure Planet, do they?
It's ironic that our whole thing was like, it isn't that bad, and then people aren't even going to hear that it isn't that bad. So,
yeah.
How many films did we review, but then have to not add to the list?
They're not on my. So that would be Who Framed Roger Rabbit, wouldn't it? And
Fish,
Mr. Limpet.
Yeah,
it's just 2, isn't it? I think.
Wasn't there a third one?
I don't know. Maybe. That won't happen again, hopefully.
No.
And the highest film to join the list was obviously Empire Strikes Back last week. And the lowest film was Lost in Space at 112. So it's been
really bad.
A year of ups and downs. Is there any film in the last year that either of you are glad that we've watched? Do you feel like something you've seen that was you'd not watched in a while?
I was happy we watched Night.
Yeah. And the one for me is Donnie Darko, which was surprised it was so high up, and it was nice
and The Matrix, because I was very worried The Matrix would be terrible.
Yeah, that was up there.
Yeah. What else was good? We watched some really bad stuff, didn't we?
I hadn't seen 1984, and that was interesting to me.
Good to watch. Yeah.
Didn't we watch Tron last year? I bloody love Tron.
We did watch Tron, unfortunately. Yeah, it was an interesting year. And here's to many more films in the year to come. But anyway, let's go on to your second choice, Alex, of the day, which is...
The Endless is called. So it's a 2017 film, but it came out in the UK 2018, did festivals and stuff like that. It's directed, written and starring Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead, which is usually a really bad thing that they would do so much, especially because they're the leads. They're the 2 leads in the film. But it's actually a really, really good film. It's very low budget, and basically the idea is that they're brothers who were part of a UFO death cult, and they escaped the cult and went and lived normal lives. But they're very unhappy with their lives, especially one of the brothers is more unhappy than the other. And they received this very strange video from one of the members talking about this thing called the Ascension. And they decide, as part of their therapy, because they're in therapy, the one that is more upset really wants to go back just to see what's going on in the cult. So the other brother kind of gives in, and they both go back to the cult just to spend one day to see what's happened. And it kind of moves from there. So there's elements that are comedic. It is kind of funny, but there's quite a lot of horror in there, and quite a lot of good. There's some quite big sci-fi ideas in there as well. It's like I say, they do a lot with very little, and it looks really nice. And yeah, it's just kind of. I mean, there's a few things in there that you might have seen before, but I think considering they're just these 2 guys, they've done very little. They did a horror film called Spring. And they did a bit of one of the VHS films, VHS Viral. They did a small section of that, but yeah, it's just if you're looking for something a bit different and a bit more independent, then give it a go. I'd say it's an interesting film.
Is it a Netflix one again, or is it?
I think it might have come on streaming. It was released properly. Like I say, it did a lot of festivals, and then it was. I think it was released on Blu-ray and DVD, and I think they actually did a tour where they did Q&As after some of the screenings.
Right.
But it definitely came out from Arrow, I think, put it out. Or might be Arrow.
I've not heard of it. Have you seen or heard of it, Chris?
No.
Check it out. I think, Chris, you'd find it interesting. Yeah, I think you'd like it. Like I say, it's interesting ideas in there. And yeah, considering they did everything really to do with it, I think it's, good Good achievement.
JustWatch.com says it is on Netflix now to watch.
There you go. There's only recently. So yeah. There you go.
Cool. Interesting. Brilliant. Right. One more film to come. Let's watch trailer for The Endless first.
I want to go back. It was our family. One day, one night, we come straight back.
What the dickens brings you all the way out here?
They call the rising sun.
Everything you did, why come back now?
Before our last film, let's look ahead to next year. So I've asked you both for your most anticipated film of next year, and Chris, you
This
can
doesn't
go
have to
first.
be sci-fi, does it?
Well, ideally, but not necessarily. Not if you
I was going
can't
to
pick
say I
one.
don't really anticipate any sci-fi now.
Right. Okay. What's your film then?
Me? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Scorsese.
Oh.
I am
enough.
a Scorsese fan.
Is Tarantino involved in that as well?
Maybe.
Did he write it or something?
Don't think so.
Yeah, he wrote it. Oh, and he's directing it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not Scorsese. It's Quentin Tarantino. I thought so.
Yeah. But it's basically got all the cast-wise. We're talking DiCaprio, who I've always.
I mean, just to clarify though, Martin Scorsese's got absolutely nothing at all to this film.
No, it is, isn't it?
No, it's not. Directed, written, and produced by Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah. So can you just like change what I said?
Do you want to start again?
Yeah, start again. Ask me again.
Okay, Chris.
No, you don't need to. It's been a long day.
A long day. What's your most anticipated film next year, Chris?
Oh, thanks for asking, Sam. As you know, I'm a massive Quentin Tarantino fan. And
oh yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh right. See, I was under the impression that Martin Scorsese was doing that, but am I wrong?
I think
with that?
you might be getting mixed up with something else, which
right,
I also
okay.
am
You
looking
fool,
forward
Sam.
to.
You idiot.
What's the like, synopsis for that? When's it set? What's it?
I don't know anything about it.
But you're really anticipating it.
You just like the title? Is that what it was?
I like the cast and the title and the director. And the director, it turns out.
Yeah.
Amazing. Right. Okay. Alex, what's your?
Well, I'm gonna. Well, Avengers.
Come on, get yourself together, Alex. Spit it out.
Sorry. Avengers Endgame, but I'm not going to say Avengers Endgame.
Oh, fuck.
I will say, and I'm worried about saying this, Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Oh yeah, that's mine. Yeah.
Because the trailer just looks so good, and I really don't want to be suckered by the trailer, but it looks so good. And
it will be garbage.
Yeah, I'm really worried it will be garbage, but the visuals in that trailer are... If people haven't seen that trailer, they need to see it. It's like, we talked about it before, but like when you see like... the like Ghidorah like flying out, like just how big it looks. They've made the monsters so big, and they seem to in this film be literally destroying the Earth in it.
It's the same Godzilla as in the last one, right?
Yeah,
same
it
one.
is. And
it's the same universe as the Kong films, because they've already started the Kong versus Godzilla, haven't they? Which everything around the film makes you not want to trust it. But as you say, that first trailer is exceptional. It is good.
There's another trailer now, and it still looks just as good. I'm sorry, it just the visuals.
Watch this trailer.
It's it's epic. It's really epic, and
it feels like, in a way that the other one didn't, and the nicest one didn't, that they understand what Godzilla's all about.
Yeah, a little bit.
And when King Ghidorah turns up, you're like, oh shit! It just looks,
Yeah, it's a different. It's written and directed by one person, and I can't remember. I did look it up, but it's not to do with Gareth Edwards anymore. I don't think.
No. Not as boring and slow as that. Thank God.
Yeah,
it is Michael Dougherty.
Right,
that's the guy doing it, and he's
nice posters.
Yeah, the posters are good as well. Like, everything about it just looks
Yeah,
Oh, I hope it's good.
I know. I think we might be come Christmas. We might be like,
it's got that kid in it from
yes. What's her face? 9,
Stranger
7,
Things.
12.
Yeah, Strange Things. Yeah,
18.
And
11.
Carl Chandler's in it from
She's
Friday Night
annoying,
Lights.
isn't she?
He's really good.
Yes,
yeah.
Vera Farmiga. Is that her name?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, her. Anyway, yeah, I don't want to be this hyped about a trailer, but those trailers look super good. So
Yeah, also my choice. I mean, so my other choice would be obviously that Picard thing. I cannot wait for the Picard series because I hope that's good. But we'll see.
That I am actually looking forward to that more than the Tarantino film.
Although we don't know anything about that either, the premise or anything, other than he said that he might not be a captain anymore. That's what he said, hasn't he? So
he's ambassador, I think.
Yeah,
wine grower. Is he just a simple wine grower?
Maybe.
He's just running Chateau Picard.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's rumours that they're all going to be in it, isn't there? A whole lot of them are back, which is pretty exciting.
Well, I don't know how they could sell data.
He could have. I mean, he's dead, isn't he? Technically, so you could.
Yeah, but there's the other one, isn't there?
Law.
You could say that Law's dead as well. There's another one, isn't there? Yeah.
Oh.
You could say that he is. I don't know. They'll find
like some aging chip.
Yeah. And I was also excited for Denis Villeneuve doing Dune, but I don't think that's next year. I think it's been delayed.
Yeah.
That was on the calendar for 2019, but that'll be good because Denis Villeneuve's brilliant. Cool. All right, we've got one more film left. Chris, it's your second choice. Let's hope you've seen this one or no, you directed it. What's your second choice?
I was going to put, I think I did write down Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, but having already talked about that and how annoying it is, I'm going to go for something else, and it's called Overlord.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Did anyone see that?
No, I heard about it, but yeah.
Now, strictly, it's a horror, but it has science fiction elements and it has sci-fi, and it does have on IMDb. It says it's got sci-fi in there.
What's the synopsis of this one for the?
So it's basically set in D-Day time, and so it's like your Saving Private Ryan sort of group of paratroopers, and they've got a mission, but they stumble across a hidden Nazi lab where the Nazis are trying to get zombies technology going and to be their super soldiers, basically.
Yeah,
cool.
And
sounds good.
You know what? I had a rip-roaring time, mainly because there wasn't any huge names in it. It's got the guy in it, and who's son of he's a son of two massive movie stars, Goldie Hawn and
Kurt Russell.
I know you mean.
So
what's his name? I know you mean Wyatt Russell.
Yeah. And he was actually very good. Complicated. It was for what it was, which was basically a zombie movie. I thought there was some interesting things to it. You could tell it wasn't a huge budget, but I had a good time, and I thought all the way they mixed that war stuff with that zombie stuff, I hadn't seen that before, and I thought it was.
Well, it's a film that's kind of been made 100 times direct to video, hasn't it? And this is the first sort of big budget version of this. Like Nazis and the Occult is what's the one about them being on the moon? That's
yeah.
Oh
film.
yeah, Iron Sky.
Something like that.
There is also a Nazi zombie one, isn't there? Where
there's loads of them like this because they obviously they were doing occult stuff, but this is the first sort of big.
Yeah,
it's not a massive budget, but a big proper version of that, isn't it? So
yeah.
So I mean, I don't think anyone ever says the word zombie, or it's kind of like a living dead sort of medical experiment going on. It's interesting.
It's got a great poster as well, hasn't it? Which is like blood spots that are parachutes, which is really nice.
And the trailer's quite good.
I'll have to check that out when it turns up on streaming.
So it was good fun.
Cool. Let's watch a trailer for that one as well.
3 months ago, I was cutting grass in my front yard. And the mailman shows up with a letter from the army. Now I'm here. No idea where I'm going to end up.
all that is left to do is to decide, to choose our favourite film and our favourite science fiction film and our favourite non-science fiction film of 2018. Let's do science fiction first. Alex.
I'm saying it. I don't care. It's science fiction. Avengers: Infinity War.
Yeah. All you hoped it would be.
Hell yeah! Just amazing. I mean, we did Empire, which was an amazing sequel. You know what I mean? Like an amazing, an amazing continuation of a story. Yeah. And I would say that Avengers: Infinity War, considering the amount of story that has come behind that they've got to then kind of put into one film, I think they did an amazing job. I think it's it proper pays. It just proper pays out. Everything that's come before pays out really well. And took proper downer ending. Spoilers. I'm sure everyone knows the ending of that by now. But absolutely loved it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it at all. Perfect, I thought.
I'll do mine next, because that's also mine. But I'd like to clarify that by saying that I think it's been a really weak year for science fiction films.
Yeah. I mean, that's tenuous. We normally say we don't do comic films, don't we?
Yeah. I mean, but it was my favourite one as well, because it was quite good. I mean, the problem with it is, for me, is that there is so much behind it. It can't help but be lumpy, and there's too many characters and bits of it that don't really go anywhere and stuff. But I mean, it is such an incredible achievement, as you say, that they've managed to get there. They've wrangled all these films to get to this point. Is unlike anything that has happened before in cinema, isn't it? And and it is a good ending. The way it gets to that point, I'm not really as on board with, but I enjoyed it all the same. Chris, what was your favourite science fiction film of 2018?
Again, weak year, but I'm going to go with Jurassic World 2.
Better than The Predator?
They're both not good films. But
one's got dinosaurs. Yeah,
I had more enjoyment out of Jurassic World because of the dinosaurs.
Yeah,
and
good.
There was an interesting element to it, how people were they were selling off dinosaurs to oligarchs and stuff, and that was probably quite an interesting thing, because that would happen now.
Yeah,
They were going for really cheap though. There was they show the scene where there is the auction, and they were going for a few million. It's
do it.
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
Get a loan. Get yourself a dinosaur.
Yeah. It'll be interesting where they take the story from now on.
Yeah.
Because they've just basically blown up the island that they come from.
I mean, it made billions again, didn't it? So I presume there's a third one happening.
Big time, yeah. There is. And a few of them got onto the mainland and free. So, but from my eye, not enough for them to be breeding and continuing. But anything can happen.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Right. Favorite non-science fiction film, Alex.
Mine. It was a film I saw at Fright Fest, so it's not technically out yet, but it was made this year, which is The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then Bigfoot. Which is a real film, and basically that is the plot synopsis of that film.
That's Epic Pictures, who have Somnus.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, they know good films, is all I can say.
I saw their brochure when I was in their office, and there was something on top of the brochure, and it had The Man That Killed Hitler, and then someone moved the glass. And then Bigfoot.
No, it's a ridiculous title, and it is a ridiculous film, but that is kind of almost why it's so brilliant, because it's this one character, and you see him during World War II, played by Aidan Turner, on a mission to kill Hitler, and then you see him now, current day, played by Sam Elliott, where he is tracked down by the FBI or the CIA, and then he's basically brought back to go and kill Bigfoot. And it is just this ridiculous concept. It is as stupid as it sounds, but it is played stone cold straight, and it is played Sam Elliott's performance is amazing. There's this bit in it where he does this speech about killing Hitler, and you just I said it to the guy next to me, and I was just that is what they would play at the Oscars. That speech is an Oscar-winning speech. He delivers it so well.
And then at the end of the speech, he goes, "Now let's go and kill Bigfoot."
Well, he does then decide to come and kill Bigfoot. Yeah, basically he does.
Brilliant.
But it's just it's kind of very Spielbergian. It's kind of got that kind of epic feel to it. It's kind of got this romance story in it. It goes across time. Just a really strange film.
Wow.
I loved it. A lot of people in the screening absolutely hated it, but a lot of people loved it. I think it's a film that just... I think if you don't get on board with it, you just think it's dumb, then you're not going to like it. But I think if you...
You've got a unique ability to get on board with dumb movies.
Well, that is very true. That is very true, Chris. I'll take that as a compliment. But no, a lot of people liked it as well. And I'd say it's... I think it's Sam Elliott is just so good in it. And it's just stupid, but really well done.
I'm intrigued, definitely.
Yeah, give it a go.
My favourite, again, a weak year overall for films, really. But my favourite was Isle of Dogs. Did either of you see that?
Oh, no.
Hi, it's Sam here from the Christmas future. Just interjecting to say that I managed to completely forget my actual favourite film of the year, which was Mandy, which the Nicolas Cage starring sort of cosmic horror film, which was by far my favourite film this year. It's incredible. Sort of a strange, gory revenge flick, but just mental, with an absolutely incredible soundtrack by Johan Johansson. And just forgot it. So just thought I'd butt in and say that, because I implore everyone to go and watch it, because it's absolutely brilliant. Thanks, bye. Chris, what was your overall?
I saw First Man. That was pretty good. I'm just
kind of science fiction as well,
I'm sure
really.
I saw something else which I enjoyed. First Man. Yeah, it's not for science fiction, but yeah, it's kind of in that world. And then made by the the Whiplash dude,
Dennis Chivival.
Yeah. So it's basically just a biopic, but it's kind of a like well put together one. It's not, God Save America. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not even. Doesn't even tell it from the male perspective of how they went to the moon. It's kind of very much like him and his wife, and it's told very intimately, as far as there's a lot of like handheld home video, like 16 8mm Cine 8 type stuff. The actual landing and that scene is done very well. You do get a sense of scale. I think, and Ryan Gosling was good, and Claire Foy is very good.
Yeah, I want to see that. Yeah. Especially now you said that it's not like all rah America, because that's immediately what I think.
No, and that's kind of why I don't think it did as well as it because it was getting a lot of stick, because they don't even show them putting the flag up.
Yeah.
Yes. I like the sound of that. I have to watch this. Definitely. Yeah. Cool. Good. Well, there we go. That brings us to the end. So we've comprehensively dealt with the last year. Let's wipe our hands of that one and move on into new things. With 2019, we're back next year with new films. And anything else to say? It's not really, is there? No. So, social stuff, Alex. Give us a social.
I have got it. It is. You can email us at sciencefictionratingsystem@gmail.com, or the website's www.sciencefictionratingsystem.com, and then Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, SF Rating System. Check them out. There's stuff on there sometimes. Facebook, I don't know. We do a bit. You see when the new episode comes out, or some rubbish on Facebook. Yeah, it's worth it.
It's a good way to share, general garbage.
Yeah. And email us and suggest films like Thomas did.
Yeah,
get in touch. Get in touch.
And fill out your survey for a chance to win blank. Maybe something. Maybe not. We'll see. But at least get read out on the air anyway, maybe next time next year. Fantastic. Yeah. Well, thank you both for joining me for another year of science fiction films. And
no sweat, man.
Happy Christmas. Happy New Year.
Happy Christmas and Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2019.
Bye.
Goodbye.